Today I have the keys to the 2020 BMW X7 M50i. Huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this SUV for me today. Definitely check out their website, that will be in the description. This model here is finished off in Alpine White. It has an MSRP just under $107,000, but we're gonna get into today's video by starting up underneath the hood, where you'll find the 4.4 liter twin power turbo V8 engine. This is paired to the 8-speed Steptronic transmission. It produces 523 horsepower around 5,500 RPM and 553 pound-feet of torque as low as 1,500 RPM. This features the X-Drive all-wheel drive system. It weighs in around 5,600 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in the mid 4-second range with a top speed of 130 miles an hour. And with a fuel capacity around 21.9 gallons, you'll expect to see around 15 miles per gallon in the city and 21 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 127.2 inches. Its overall length is 203.3. It has a width of 78.7, a height of 71.1, and ground clearance measures in at 8.7 inches. With all those specifications out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the exterior walk around. We're gonna start up front here on the X7 with the massive kidney style grille. You'll see there's vertical slats that run throughout it. This has active grille shutters behind it as well, which will help improve with better aerodynamics, and it has a really nice dark finish surrounding the entire grille. The forward-facing camera is nicely integrated in the lower section. We have parking sensors that run throughout the front section of the bumper as well. And then as we make our way to the sides, this has adaptive LED headlights along with LED daytime running lights. I really like the design of the DRLs. They're nicely integrated underneath the headlight and the high beam and just has a really cool look within the housing. This has LED fog lights, which are just below those. You can see more of that trim along with piano black. We have more cutouts to provide even more cooling, along with air inlets to help provide with more aerodynamics. So there's a lot of functional styling to the front end of the X7. You can see there's more mesh in the lower section of the bumper there, along with a piano black trim piece. And then as we make our way up to the hood, there's very clean lines that run down it, really nice contoured shapes within the hood. So it has a really nice front end presence to it. Being a large SUV, everything just flows nicely on the front end. But that's gonna lead us on to the side profile of the X7. We're gonna start off with the 22-inch wheels. They have a 5 split spoke design to them and a really nice finish. Matches the white very nicely. You can see the blue brake calipers just behind that. We have the side mirrors, which feature the integrated turn signal along with a camera, which I'll show that system once we hop inside. And you can see more of that brushed trim on the mirror cap itself. Gives it a really cool look. This has a full panoramic sunroof along with black up on the roof rails. You can see the window trim has been blacked out as well, and there's a really nice line that flows from the front just up underneath the door handles all the way back to the tail lights. And there's also more of that brushed trim on the lower section of the door. Just has a really nice side profile design to it. And then finishing up in the rear, we have the integrated spoiler. That's half body colored and half gloss black. You can see the integrated turn signal right in the center. The wiper blade is on the lower section of the glass to help improve with better overall visibility. This has LED taillights, a power liftgate. You can see the standard backup camera just above the license plate, along with the parking sensors in the lower diffuser there. This also has a towing capacity up to 6,000 pounds. You can see more of that trim separating the bumper. We have white on the lower side of the diffuser, and then on each sides of that, we have the dual exhaust. Now it's time to jump into the interior on the X7. I have it locked and the key in my pocket. I'm just gonna grab on the door handle and it will unlock. You can use the door handle to lock the vehicle, of course, as well. But taking a look at the door panel now, you'll see it's completely covered in black leather with gray stitching. We have brushed aluminum on the release handle, along with the lock and unlock just behind that. You can see on the front side of the door panel, we have a couple seating adjustments, along with your massaging functions, and you can adjust the passenger front seat. You'll see the lock and unlock and power mirror adjustments are all finished off in brushed aluminum. We have the ambient lighting interior package, so you can see that running just underneath the armrest. This has a 16-speaker Harman Kardon sound system. You can see just above that is a wood inlay, gives it a very nice touch. And then on the lower section of the door, there's plenty of space for anything that you'd like to place there. As we look at the door sill, you'll see the M50i badge, and then taking a look at these beautiful leather seats. They have a really nice design running through the inserts. You can see the gray stitching running on the headrests along with the bolsters. They have a multiple powerway adjustability with all of these controls, and you can even adjust the bolsters and some other settings as well. You can move the front portion of the seat. And then moving on to the steering wheel now, you'll see it's completely covered in more of that leather with black stitching running along the inside. We have the heated steering wheel button at the bottom along with the M badge. And then on the right side, you can see your volume controls for the radio, along with Bluetooth and your voice commands. And then on the left side, we have all the cruise control settings. Moving on to the gauge cluster, you'll see on the left side is the fuel gauge and speedometer. The tach and engine temperature are on the right side. You have a very nice digital screen readout for all of that information. Moving on to the left side of the steering wheel, you'll see all of the headlight controls along with the fog lights. Down below, you have a little bit of a storage pocket for anything you'd like to place there. You can see one air vent. Leather covers the entire dash. This does have the heads-up display. You can see there's a speaker up in the center, and then below that we have the 12.3-inch screen. Looking at the home screen now, you can see your navigation along with music and Bluetooth. We can swipe over and look at the compass along with some fuel information. You can also see the date and time along with the weather. You can go into your media. We can click on the home button to go back to this screen. You have your communication or your phone basically that you can go through. We can pull up the navigation in full screen here, and you have all of your different settings for that. Going into car here, you can look at driver information. You can go into the vehicle status, monitor TPMS, along with your oil life and information like that. If we go back into car and go to driving information, you can look at your sport display. So you can see your PSI, your G-force meter, how much power and horsepower you're using. We also have an X view as well, so you can look at your compass along with the height adjustment of the vehicle. This does have an adaptive ride, so you can easily adjust that. And then the last setting is apps, so you can go through all of that information. Just below that, we have two air vents along with the hazard button and the intelligent safety. So you can configure that between individual or having it the way that you would like to just by going into configure individual. And this will monitor your front collision, your lane departure. You have your steering intervention along with your active blind spot. Under those air vents, we have all of the climate controls. So you can see on the right side and the left side of the aluminum buttons, we have the heated seat controls as well, along with some recirc. And then right in the center, we have the fan speed for driver and passenger. So you can easily adjust those and turn them on, along with setting the temperature for driver and passenger. You have the menu button right in the center, basically turning the AC on or off. As we make our way down to the middle here, you'll see a row of presets. You have your power and volume adjustments for the radio, and then tuning on the far right. Just underneath that, we have more of that wood inlay trim, giving it a very nice look. All we have to do is push this up, and it will retract to show you two cup holders. They are heated and cooled cup holders as well, so you have the option to do that. You'll see them light up blue or red. There's a 12 volt just in front of that, along with a wireless charging port on the front side. And then we can go ahead and close that up. Making our way to the shifter now, you'll see it's finished off in Swarovski crystal. Just by pushing the unlock trigger on the left side, we can go all the way up into reverse. You'll see the backup camera up here. We do have a top-down view on the right side, and this vehicle has the backup assistance. So when you have that activated and you drive the vehicle, it will automatically remember your path. So going into reverse, you basically have a hands-free operation, and it will help you back out of any situation. Very easy to go through. We can go all the way down into drive, pop it over into the sport mode, which allows us to use the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, which are finished off in aluminum, and then we can easily put the vehicle back into park. Just to the left of that, we have the traction control along with a shortcut to the camera. So we can pull up the forward-facing camera right now. If I go into reverse, we'll see that view again. You can also turn on and off your parking sensors along with the engine start-stop feature. We have the engine start button right in the center, and then a couple driving modes behind that between Sport, Comfort, Eco Pro, and Adaptive. There's also an auto hold assist for the brake feature. You have the electronic parking brake on the right side of that, along with the downhill assist control, and then on the far right, we can adjust the height of the vehicle. And then to finish up with all of these controls in the center, we do have some more that will control the center screen. So we have the rotary dial, you have your media and home button, along with map and navigation. Back and option are on the back side. As we look at the center armrest now, it's completely covered in leather. You'll see the leather and stitching run down both sides as well. Just by pushing on the aluminum button on the front side, it will open up. You can see there's a USB and a good amount of storage space, and then we can close these both individually. As we take a look at the glove box now, you have plenty of room for everything that needs to go there. You can see more of that wood inlay and brushed aluminum on the dash, giving it a very nice look. We'll go ahead and take one last look at these seats. And then up top, this does have the full panoramic sunroof. It also has an Alcantara headliner as well. Gives it a very nice look. This also has the LED roof as well, which is pretty awesome to see. And then up top, we also have some more of the dome lights. Moving to the second row now of the X7, you can see I'm sitting in a captain's chair right now. This does have the 6-seat configuration to it. So we're gonna start off here. There's plenty of room. I'm 5'10", I have the front seat set at my height, and I have plenty of room for my legs and a lot of inches above my head. So it's very roomy in the back. You have automatic adjustments, so we can easily recline these seats. We can move them forwards and backwards. We even have an adjustable armrest that not only slides forwards and backwards, but we can actually move it completely out of the way if we'd like to. But now moving on to all the controls on the door panel here, we have a lot of things that we can go through. We can open and close the sunshade for the third row passengers. We can open and close the sunshade for the second row and front seat passengers here. I can also adjust the privacy shade for my side along with the passenger side as well. So being able to put that up and down with the push of a button, and then we have the window control just in front of that. Behind both front seats, we have a storage pocket along with a USB port and an area to attach a tablet if you'd like to. And then right in the center, we have the dual zone climate for the second row. Overall, this has a 5-zone climate control system. You can adjust the temperature, your fan speed. You have the heated seat controls. There's a little bit of storage space underneath that. And then down on the floor, we have 2 cup holders along with 2 more USB ports, a 12-volt, and then there's a nice X7 badge on the back side. Now it's time to go ahead and hop into the third row in the X7. I've already adjusted the front seat here. Everything is automatic, so all you have to do is fold down the backrest and the seat will automatically move forward along with the driver's seat to give you plenty of room to hop into the back. So even at 5'10", I have enough room to hop into the back here. I have plenty of room above my head. And then even moving over to the other side, so we have this seat all the way back, I have plenty of leg room, so you can easily throw 6 people into this vehicle. We have a cup holder in the back along with a USB port down below. And then here is the 5th zone climate control system, so you can easily adjust everything for the third row, and there's even heated seats back here. You have the fan speed and the temperature. Now it's time to go ahead and take a look at the rear storage space. I'm just going to use the electronic button up underneath BMW, and the power liftgate will automatically open up. This does have the lower tailgate as well, so I can push on that button and you have a nice area to sit. So if you like to tailgate, it just gives you an extra seat, which is nice. But you can see you have a good amount of storage space in the back, even with the third row up. You can remove this cover and fold the third row down, giving you a lot of space. You can put in anything that you'd like to. And then up underneath the floor, you have the spare tire compartment along with some more hidden storage space. You can actually individually control all 4 seats, whether you put the backrest down or moving the second row forward. Clicking on the max button on the bottom there, you can see there's a mini suitcase, which means it's gonna fold the third row down and move the second row all the way forward to give you plenty of space. And then clicking on the max button with the person, that's gonna give you the maximum amount of seating, so it's gonna bring the seats back up in the third row. And then there's even a 12-volt on the right side. And then with the power liftgate, we can either close and lock the vehicle or just close it. All right, so getting behind the wheel of the 2020 X7 now, it's crazy how well this SUV performs. It's almost like you're behind the wheel of a sports car. It handles that well. I currently have it in Sport Plus at the moment, and even going around that turn there, it's super planted for its weight. I love how BMW makes their SUVs so sporty that you really can't even tell you're in a 3-row vehicle. This is a massive car or massive SUV, but at the same time, you can't even tell the weight. I love the leather everywhere. We have the wood trim. You've already seen pretty much everything that I've gone over, but it just has a really nice, luxurious, premium feel to it. And I love being in the driver's seat now. It's super comfortable. These adjustable bolsters hug me really well, so I can easily get those dialed in. And we have a really nice headrest. It's just a really nice place to be, and it's a great daily driver. I currently have it in comfort mode right now, and it feels like you're just floating down the road. There's pretty much no bumps that the car feels. It's also very quiet on the interior as well. So this is a very nice, quiet, comfortable place to be, to kind of get away from everything on the outside of the vehicle. It's that quiet on the inside. If we go ahead and pop it into sport mode now, you can hear the exhaust just get a little bit louder. And as far as the suspension goes for sport mode, just going in a straight line right now, it feels about the same. Moving on to the overall visibility now, for a vehicle that has a third row, it's actually very easy to see all around. There's a ton of glass. So looking over my left shoulder, I can see out of that passenger glass there. Over my right shoulder, same thing. And then obviously I can look out of the rear glass and easily see that vehicle that's behind me right now. So it's very easy to see. I love having the panoramic roof for pretty much everybody. So with it in sport mode, I'm gonna pop it over into the manual setting, or the sport mode basically. Give it a little bit of gas here. Wow. It's not all that loud. You can hear that exhaust, but this has plenty of power to get up to the speed limit. And these paddles are pretty responsive too. We're gonna go down to third gear, slow down a little bit more, go to second gear, a little bit of gas, nothing crazy. Wow. Those shifts are super responsive, very quick, and it's very smooth in its power delivery. You can hardly feel the shifts, which is very nice. For an SUV, it's awesome that BMW can make a sporty SUV that still retains the SUV styling, but even coming around a turn like this, carrying its weight, I mean, you almost have a sports car in an SUV. It's that precise in its handling and how well it can go around turns. And now talking about the massaging feature, which I currently have on at the moment, just by reaching over to these buttons on the door panel there, you'll see it appear on the center screen here, and we have everything that you can go through. Between your shoulder massage, you have your lumbar, upper body, and whole body just by pushing on these settings here. That is something that is very easy to get to, but I think that's gonna wrap up my time behind the wheel in the 2020 BMW X7 M50i. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this SUV for me today. Take a look at their website, that will be in the description. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a huge thumbs up, smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next video.